For the third time this week, the HOA president drove straight through my ranch gate and destroyed my sick wife's healing garden. That was the moment I decided it would be the last time. It was a 6:30 a.m. like any other in rural Texas, quiet, peaceful, the world barely awake. I stood at the kitchen window with a cup of coffee, watching the sun slowly rise over the land we'd made our home. The soft mist rolled off the creek, and the golden light brushed over the grass, making everything look like it was bathed in warmth. This was what I fought for, a life built from hard work and the quiet solace of the land. But this peace was something I never intended to let anyone take from me, least of all a woman like Brenda Winchester. Her white Lexus appeared on the horizon, tearing down the road toward the gate. My smile faded, replaced with a heavy sigh. I could already feel my pulse quicken, a mix of dread and anger settling in my chest. I had hoped that maybe this time would be different. Maybe she'd come to her senses. Maybe she'd realize how wrong it was to trample over the very thing my wife and I had worked so hard to build. But no, she sped through the gate as if it wasn't even there, her tires grinding over the flowers Sarah had lovingly planted during her chemotherapy. The flowers Sarah had hoped would heal her, the flowers that had been a symbol of life and growth when everything around us seemed so dark. I watched in silence as my wife's sanctuary was destroyed again. The cattle scattered, and Sarah's oxygen machine let out a sharp sputter. My heart tightened as I glanced at Sarah, who was sitting on the porch, her frail body struggling to catch her breath. She didn't even slow down, didn't look back. I felt the anger surge through me like a wave crashing against the shore. I wanted to run out there, to confront her, but I knew it wouldn't change anything. She was too far gone, too arrogant. And in that moment, I realized something. This was the last time. The last time she'd disrespect us. The last time she'd tear through our peace. What would you do if someone kept driving through your dying wife's sanctuary? My name is Clayton Rivers, and I've lived a life full of battles. I spent 28 years in the Marines, a lifetime spent on aircraft carriers, fixing the machines that kept us airborne and on the move. But nothing in my life, nothing at all, could have prepared me for this. When Sarah was diagnosed with cancer, we decided to buy this ranch, a place of peace, of healing. It wasn't much, just 200 acres with a creek running through it, but it was ours. We envisioned it as a sanctuary, a place where Sarah could escape the hospital rooms and find solace in the quiet. We'd planted wildflowers, attracted butterflies, and for the first time in years, she could feel the peace that had been slipping away. But then came Brenda. She's 52, a pharmaceutical sales manager, and the self-appointed queen of the HOA. She thinks because she lives in a fancy subdivision with perfectly manicured lawns and a gated community, she can rule the world. And she thought she could come onto my land, destroy our peace, and get away with it. It wasn't just the flowers. It wasn't just the garden. It was everything. Every day, Brenda's actions chipped away at the life we'd worked so hard to build. The sound of her Lexus roaring down the road became a symbol of everything that was wrong. She showed up every single day, tearing through the gate without a second thought, without any respect for what she was doing. I could see the toll it was taking on Sarah. Her once peaceful sanctuary was being trampled, and there was nothing I could do. Every time Brenda passed, Sarah would flinch, a look of worry crossing her face. And each time, I felt that old, familiar anger rise. But I held it in check. I tried to be the calm one. I tried to reassure Sarah, telling her it would be fine, that we'd figure it out. But I knew I was fooling myself. That night, as I lay in bed, I heard the distant hum of the wind outside, and for the first time in weeks, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't escape the quiet fury that had built up inside me. I realized I had to make a choice. Let this woman destroy everything we'd built, or stand up and fight back. I wasn't going to stand by anymore. I wasn't going to let her take everything from us. This wasn't just about the land. It wasn't just about flowers or trees. It was about standing up for what was ours. I spent the next few days doing what I had to do. I called in Pete, the surveyor, to check the boundaries. I wasn't leaving anything to chance. I needed leverage. And when I got the survey back, my heart sank. Brenda had been using my land illegally. Her easement? It expired in 1987. And the county's renewal notice? It had never been signed. That was it, the proof I needed to end this. I wasn't going to let this woman destroy my life any longer. I called Jake, my lawyer buddy from the military. "I've got her," I said, barely able to contain my excitement. "I've got the proof we need to take her down." Jake was quick to respond, his voice sharp. "Clayton, this is bigger than we thought. You got a case, and we're going to make her pay for every step she took on your land." The day Brenda showed up, thinking she could walk through my gate without a care in the world, I was ready. Her convoy of HOA vehicles appeared on the horizon. The arrogance in her eyes as she led the pack. It sickened me. But I had the upper hand now. This time, there would be no more ignoring us. I stood on the porch as the convoy approached. I wasn't going to let her walk all over us again. I pressed the button. The hydraulic bollards sprang up from the ground, steel posts rising to meet the weight of Brenda's Lexus. The collision was deafening. Her car came to an immediate halt, the undercarriage of her Lexus shredded. She tried to reverse, but the damage was done. Her convoy was stuck, unable to move. They were trapped. Brenda's face twisted from arrogance to confusion, then to sheer panic. She wasn't in control anymore, and it felt damn good. Brenda Winchester didn't take kindly to losing. But this time, there was nothing she could do. The sheriff arrived first, then the federal agents. I watched as they surrounded Brenda's car, reading her the charges: criminal trespassing, conspiracy, document forgery, obstruction of justice. The smile she'd been wearing for so long was gone now. It was replaced with a look of terror. I watched as they led her away, and in that moment, I realized that this wasn't just about protecting land or flowers. This was about justice. Victory wasn't just about the land or the Bollards. It wasn't about the proof, the legal battles, or the documents we'd filed. It was about standing up for what was ours. It was about Sarah. It was about her fight, her strength, and the love we had for each other. It was about our life together and protecting that life from anyone who thought they could tear it apart. As I stood on the porch, looking out at the ranch, I felt an overwhelming sense of relief. The horizon stretched before me, bathed in the soft, golden light of the setting sun. Sarah walked out beside me, her hand finding mine, and in that moment, everything felt right. The butterflies were back, fluttering in the garden, just as Sarah had always dreamed. There was peace in the air, something that had been missing for so long. And in the distance, the sound of our cattle grazing, the whisper of the wind through the trees. It was like the world was breathing with us again. "We did it, Clayton," Sarah whispered, her voice softer now, filled with awe, with gratitude. "We really did it." And I knew in that moment, more than anything, that no one was going to take our life, our love, our land from us. We fought too hard, and now we had won. Some battles you can't fight alone. Some victories, they mean more than the land you fight for. They mean something deeper, something that sticks with you long after the fight is over. I looked at Sarah, my partner, my best friend, the woman who had shown me the true meaning of strength. She was my victory. In that moment, the sun setting behind us wasn't just the end of another day. It was the end of a battle we'd fought and won. And as I held Sarah's hand, looking out at the land we had protected, I realized that this was what mattered. Not the fights we'd had to endure, not the obstacles that had stood in our way, but the life we were living now, the peace we had earned, the love we had fought to protect. No one, not Brenda Winchester, not anyone, could take that from us. Because in the end, love and courage always win, and nothing else mattered.